Hello, everybody. This is Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's number one pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. Unfortunately, the Pharaoh's not with me right now, but we want to reach out to all the fans out there and say thank you. What an honor, what a privilege it is that you have assisted us and supported us over the last year as we approach 1 million views on YouTube. We also want to thank Anchor, who supports us on the audio version, where we're being heard all across the country. Most recently, number 28 most listened to pro wrestling broadcast. And we want to thank Anchor out there. And for all people who want to do these types of broadcasts and podcasts, by all means, reach out to Anchor, set up your podcast. It's a great way to get your message out to the general public. And again, I want to thank all the fans. You can support us on YouTube, Monty and the Pharaoh page, Facebook Live Monty and the Pharaoh page, Twitch TV Monty and the Pharaoh page, or please go to our website, www.montyandthepharaoh.com, where you can get autographs from all the wrestlers that have been through the who's who of wrestling. You can get pictures, you could get video messages, and don't forget, you could get Tony Atlas's artwork where he'll actually paint something for you. I mean, that's a rare thing. That is a rare thing. Once again, we want to thank everybody for supporting the show. Monty and the Pharaoh, Long Island's number one pro wrestling broadcast, every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m., where you can see the who's who of professional wrestling, future and past. Thanks again, everybody, and we hope to see you soon.
Hey, it's me, WWE Hall of Famer from the LOD, Road Warrior Animal. And who are you?
Yeah, I gotta do this when? Now? I'm watching a match. What is now? Now is, oh, now. Yeah, thanks. Hey, this is the Pharaoh from Monty and the Pharaoh. I just want to say thank you to our subscribers as we now have hit the 10,000 plateau. Thank you to all our subscribers out there. But I'm going to ask our subscribers to take the next step for us and become a full-fledged YouTube Monty and the Pharaoh member. Yes, that's right, folks. You can check it out. We've got 3 different levels. There's free shirts. There's free autographs. There's all sorts of perks for our members. There is nothing more we enjoy than giving you this program. And to do that, we need your support, and we appreciate your support. This is Jimmy Pharaoh, and don't forget to check out Monty and the Pharaoh every Thursday from Indie Music TV and on Cablevision here locally in New York. Long Island's number one pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. Later. Is that good enough for you? Can I finish this? Lesnar's killing him. I'm pissed.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and the Pharaoh, seen only here out of Indie Music TV, out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. At the board, Matty Ice. Matty, how are you, buddy?
I am doing great.
Things are good. We just found out that Matty, you're becoming a full-time employee for Indie Music TV. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, soon it's in the works, and I am super excited.
That is great. So how does it feel being a graduate of Hofstra, right?
Yep.
And now you're officially in the biz. Good stuff, right?
I mean, COVID gave me quite a scare there, with no one hiring and everything, and been working here actually near the start of COVID, and things have progressed.
It's the luck of Monty, and the star of the show to the right is Mr. Jimmy Pharaoh. Jimmy, how are you?
He took my luck. I want it back. You took my luck. I want it back.
What do you mean? You're lucky.
He's got good luck, and I got gas.
So if I was,
and I don't mean for my car. How you doing, folks?
Let me ask you this.
What?
If I was to compare you to something,
please don't. To something?
Would you be? Okay. Remember the Brady Bunch where they find that little taboo thing on the beach of Hawaii?
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah, I'm the anti-Midas. Yeah. Everything I touch does not turn to gold. Yes. Yes.
By the way, Wisteria Hall official just puts in, you might as well talk about it now.
What happened?
Zach Wilson has been drafted by the New York Jets.
There we go. Matty, you got that
football
photo
fans
there,
out there,
guy?
not everybody's a Jet fan, but
well, this is the
hey.
New York market, first of all.
All right, go ahead.
The NFL draft is big time, and I'm sure our wrestling fans are also sports fans. A lot of them, maybe not all of them,
gotcha.
but I would think a good percentage are.
Okay.
And go ahead, Mike. Tell me how this quarterback's going to mean nothing to. Go ahead, rain all over it. This is the only time we get to be happy because we have something called hope that lasts for a few seconds, and then Jet reality comes
Pharaoh
back.
is one of the great, and I really do mean this.
Oh no, what?
Really knows his sports in and out. Baseball, basketball, hockey. He's a four-tool announcer.
Okay.
But one of Pharaoh's weaknesses is, along with your partner, Bart Griggs, by the way,
and you too,
is you guys are fucking idiots.
What?
Because here's the deal.
That's mean.
Every
You're a
year,
mean guy.
the Yankees will be good. The Knicks will be good. The Rangers will be good. And every year, the Jets pick up someone, oh my God, this is the difference maker. And guess what? Every year, nothing. I hear it from you two guys.
Well, let me ask you let me just ask you one question, Mr. Football Expert.
Go ahead.
Do you really think Deion Sanders gives a shit about you?
Why do we got to drag Deion into this?
Why not? If I'm a fucking idiot, I'm going back to
Hey,
Deion.
yo, bro, the guy,
I'm going back to
guy
Deion.
won a Super Bowl.
Right, now with the Falcons.
No,
Who
not
you
with
were
the
rooting
Falcons.
for passionately.
That is true.
And he wound up doing it with the Cowboys
That is
twice
true.
and with the 49ers
Listen,
once.
I don't want to rain any
Or
Congratulations, Zach Wilson is now a New York Jet.
Right. Okay. You're not very
So
excited, are you?
I want everybody to remember this. Let's keep this as a recording.
I
So
haven't said
year
anything
one, they'll go 2-14.
Oh, no.
Pharaoh will go, but wait a minute, and his partner Bart Griggs will go, but wait a minute, he's getting better. Then what will happen in year 2? They'll go 4-14. And then, no, 4-12. 4-12.
That's good math.
4-12. 4-12.
I think they're playing 17 games now soon.
Well, not yet.
Soon.
So he's improving. Didn't you see? He threw for 180 yards this week. That's what they'll say.
That's a good game.
By week 3,
Why
they'll
would
go.
I think that 180 yards is a good game?
All they
Pharaoh
need,
knows his
all he
sports.
needs. You know what I heard last year about Sam Darnold?
What's
all
that?
he needs is a running back. No,
I didn't say that.
He needed a team.
I said he had Adam Gase.
He needed a brain.
I said he was screwed. I said he was screwed for the last 2 years with Adam Gase. There was no way Sam Darnold was going to do anything.
802,
with
welcome
Adam
aboard.
Gase.
Just relaxing, enjoying the show.
My God, we just
I'm
got over
glad.
the worst coach in Jet history.
Your partner, Bart Griggs, they're playing 17 games now. Okay, so now they
They
could
are.
go 1-16. Congratulations,
Nice.
Bart.
Awesome.
Well done.
Right, but you know what's funny, folks?
Go ahead.
And he can deny it, but I've known him too long.
Right.
If the Jets do somehow in the next few years do a 12-4, you know who's going to be at the front of the line?
Absolutely.
This guy right here.
I will be.
This guy. Zach Wilson is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Let's hope and pray.
Yeah, well, again, hoping and praying doesn't always work. In these
Actually, in
cases.
the last 50 years, that I've done shit. So you're right.
So let me just say
For the
this,
Jets.
Jimmy. We already said this to us, each other on the phone numerous times. Let's
Yeah,
just
go
get
ahead.
off the Jet talk, all right? We'll be dead before they make a Super Bowl. We know
You're
this.
probably right about
And I don't mean to
this.
be a downer.
Does
I
that
love
mean-
your passion.
By the
bro.
way, does that
I
mean
love your
are the
passion.
Knicks in that too, by the way?
So
Are they there too?
Here is the Pharaoh along with his partner Bart Griggs about the Knicks. Well, they're playing 500. Well, they won 11 straight games.
Dude, they now have one of the best teams in the conference, by the way.
Until the first round of the playoffs, and they're out.
Nope.
And that's how simple it'll be.
They're going to win a round.
So when was it acceptable to win one round?
Never.
But
after 20 years of not even being in the playoffs,
so that's success.
I'm thrilled for now to see them in the top.
Wow,
that's nice.
Look at you.
It's better than nothing.
Congratulations.
I know. Well, tell me about it. How'd you like to be a Cowboy fan? 1995 was a long time ago. You know, things
better than
are
1969, my friend.
Yeah,
I'll take 1995.
That's for shit, sure. But you know what's funny? The Jets have 7 playoff wins in the last 25 years. The Cowboys have 1, I think.
Give me one.
That's weird.
Give me one Super Bowl win over those.
Right.
Russell Campbell, welcome aboard, my friend. Good to see you as always. All right. Well, great shows last week.
Yeah.
China Tribute.
Yeah.
Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, getting lots of love.
Yeah.
And the Rock and Roll Express. Your thoughts?
They were all fantastic, and we just, sent out the condensed versions.
Yes, which are doing well already.
The abbreviated versions
Absolutely.
for those shows. Those guys were they were great. Ronnie Garvin was a great guy, and he enjoyed us very much, and we enjoyed him. It was fantastic. Rock and Roll Express were real fellas.
Were you a fan of Ronnie Garvin?
No, he retired. Greg Valentine, I told him so.
But just in general, as a wrestler, did you hold him in high regard?
Compared to what? The guys like the $1 Million Men
Sure,
guys?
absolutely.
No, Ronnie was just solid and serviceable. And always on the upper card. What are you going to say?
So coming out of
but a fan of his? I was rooting for guys that he was always beating.
Coming out of the interview, though,
yeah.
What were your thoughts?
I love Ronnie Garvin. He's one of my favorite people.
I agree.
I absolutely love him, and that was one of my favorite.
I guess that's what I'm trying to get from
I
him.
love Ronnie Garvin, and I started paralleling him to Backlund.
Absolutely.
I was like, wow, this guy's a great guy. Stayed out of trouble. Super solid in the ring. Very impressive resume, and a really good guy. Enjoyed him very much.
All right, before we get to wrestling, we'll get some important stuff here, right? So, Maddie, you could jump in anytime, too. This is pretty important. So in New York, an NYPD highway officer died last week after being hit by an alleged drunk driver as he was investigating a crash scene on the Long Island Expressway on Tuesday. Highway unit official identified as 43-year-old Anastasius, and I might be hacking up his name. So, thank you. A 14-year veteran of the force was seen at the scene in clear view around 2 a.m. of a crash after the driver lost control of the vehicle and slammed into a concrete wall. The vehicle burst into flames with the driver and 2 passengers pulled from the fire and rushed to the hospital. Another passenger died at the scene, and the driver of the car was later charged. Tasakios, please protect me on that one. Thank you.
To me, I'm not sure the T is,
it's
too
okay.
much silent.
Was
so.
redirecting traffic at a crash site when a 2013 Volkswagen Passat, driven by a 32-year-old woman, hit him and sped off, according to the New York PD commissioner. When asked whether it was possible that the woman didn't realize she hit the officer, Shea said the damage to her vehicle was so extensive that there was no way she didn't know she struck someone. Shea, identified as a female driver as 32-year-old Jessica
Bouval.
Thank you, of Hempstead. She faces the charges including manslaughter, aggravated manslaughter, vehicular manslaughter, reckless endangerment, leaving the scene of a deadly accident, DWI, and other offenses. She allegedly blew a .15, nearly twice the legal limit according to law enforcement. Okay. At the time of the crash, Bouval, driver's license was apparently suspended. I'm not going to read this whole thing. So she basically didn't have insurance. The vehicle wasn't registered. She killed a cop, and not one person is rioting over this. Not one basketball player is not going to Twitter and saying, Bouval, you're next.
Right.
What is going on in this country? Gents, anything?
Well, I'm afraid it's a little too often when people get hit by cars. I mean, I was hit by a car like 10 years ago, like literally blocks down from my house. It's I think it's a bit normalized when you hear people have been hit by a car. And yeah.
Again, getting hit by a car is one thing. Getting hit by an unregistered, uninsured, drunk person is a whole nother deal. It's as bad to me as putting a gun to someone's head and shooting them in the head, or putting your knee on someone's throat until they have a heart attack. I don't think there's a difference between any of them.
I think that basically, what you're getting at, and to me, it doesn't seem to matter if police die tragically and the story is minimalized. And if that's what you're saying, I get that. I do get that. I don't know this person's background, but I know this much. You're right. Judging by her conduct, she might as well have just walked up to the officer and killed him, shot him in the head with a gun. It is no different. She basically volunteered him to die because she was an irresponsible, steaming pile of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the media doesn't do more to bring to light some of the other horrific things that are going on in this world.
By the way, this is buried in Newsday. It's buried in Newsday.
Of course, because the media does have an agenda, and that's obvious too. This is a very, very sad story, and what makes it even more sad is that it's being minimalized. And if that's your point, bravo. That's how I see that.
Ralph Brunn wrote, too sad of a story, it floored me all week. Ralph, I think it's important, and by the way, if you didn't know, you're watching Monty and the Pharaoh, I think it's important that people stand up for themselves here. I mean, when I got to sit there and watch LeBron James basically put the finger on somebody that he doesn't even know what happened.
Right.
Meanwhile, this lady, again, I want to make it clear, she was drunk. She murdered this police officer.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this was not an accident. She was drunk, unregistered, unlicensed, and drove away.
Knowingly breaking the law on multiple counts and not giving a damn about what would happen.
It's disgusting.
A steaming pile of humanity she was. And I hope.
But what's wrong with these newspaper reporters? And I'm going to get into this, into wrestling in a minute, folks.
Because, honestly, they have their agenda. And they sell what they think is going to sell the most. And they're pushing what they want to push.
Pharaoh, when did a reporter feel that it's not right to report the news the way it's supposed to be reported with no agenda?
It's been going on for so long at this point. It's disgusting. And I agree. I don't know what to tell you. There is no excuse for it. And they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
Chris Patty says your candor and honesty is refreshing. Thank you, Mr. Patty.
Thank you, sir.
It's a shame of what's going on right now.
It's sickening.
So let's talk about some other Pharaoh reporting.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm going to call him LaGreca, and the Human Snorefest Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Had Tony Khan on a few days ago.
There's another Snorefest, Tony Khan.
Exactly. And I'm going to ask you to weigh in on
Aburrido.
this. Tony Khan seems pretty so confident that AEW Dynamite will remain on Wednesday nights despite Turner Sports' new deal with the NHL.
Nice.
Earlier this week, Turner Sports announced that the new deal will carry the NHL programming for the next 7 years.
Good.
That immediately led to fans speculating that AEW Dynamite's future given a significance of the NHL deal.
Why would that affect them? Is the NHL going to be on Wednesday nights?
They do play on Wednesday. You know this. Hockey plays on Wednesday nights.
Sure it does. I'm just asking, is that the night they intend to air it?
Well, Tony Khan was a guest on This Morning on Busted Open Radio, right, which is one of the top radio stations.
Sure.
We're right behind them, and we're going to be in front of them shortly.
Where'd they go?
LaDicka and Tommy Dreamer. When LaGreca asked Khan about the future AEW Dynamite, he made it quite clear that Wednesday nights was the promotion's home. I'm going to quote Khan. I'm not going to read the whole thing, and then I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay.
I know Wednesday nights is our slot and our home, and it's a great situation, Khan said. I'm thrilled with our partnership with TNT.
You should be.
You know it's the lifeblood of our company. It's our primary revenue source, and it's the way most fans get exposed to AEW to see the show.
No kidding.
And tonight and every Wednesday, we do Dynamite. I think you know a lot of wrestling fans. It's a really important night of the week. And so I want everyone, rest assured that they're not going to have to worry about any kind of major changes.
Okay.
AEW President Tony Khan was asked about while on a guest. Khan seemed to hint that he's not worried about the company's spot on Wednesdays and also suggested he's open to change.
Right.
Pharaoh?
I don't think much of it. And if the NHL does do Wednesday nights, guess who's getting bumped? They're getting bumped. That's it. So if that does happen, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So here's LaGreca.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr.
That's not what you called him. What's his name?
Ladicka.
Okay, clear it up.
So I'll make this clear.
What am I doing?
Again, another guy. I understand that you want Tony Khan on your show every Wednesday. Okay, it's good for business. I get it. Right now it is anyway. And when we get to the ratings, maybe it's not such a good thing because maybe you're just bad luck, LaGreca. But anyway,
wow.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
That's interesting. All right.
Let's be honest here. You just said it.
Yeah.
If the NHL says, TNT says, or the NHL goes, hey,
right,
we want this Wednesday played.
The NHL,
Tony Khan tried to present on Busted Open, and LaGreca tried to pull back a little bit today.
Anywhere? That it won't matter?
It'll matter. Tony Khan will decide if they stay on Wednesday night.
No, he won't.
Thank you. Can you speak on that, Frank?
What is there to speak on? He's not going to have it. Look, they're not a AEW. It's not a bigger animal than the NHL or TNT. If that's what the NHL and TNT decide upon, then you better pick another night, Tony.
Well, on TNT, I paid you night, whatever you paid, $100 million, whatever they paid him, right? Guess what? TNT can do whatever they want with your show.
Of course.
We're getting paid here.
Of course they could.
If Indie Music says you're going on at 1 o'clock in the morning, guess what time you're going on?
No, Chris, don't. Wait a minute, 1 o'clock in the morning? Chris, hey, I like that. You'll hate it.
But LaGreca doesn't even ask that question.
Well,
because he doesn't want to ruffle. And then, Tommy Dreamer, I don't even know the guy has a brain on his head.
Wow. Yeah. EC Dub. Too many Singapore cane shots or something?
No, I'm tired of it, dude. It's like, stop with your agendas. Be a proper reporter. You know what? Listen, guys, when we interview these wrestlers here, we ask them tough questions.
Right.
We don't throw softballs.
No.
We're respectful. Right. You can ask tough questions and be respectful.
Right.
But I think you anyway said LaGreca's only got a job because of his brother anyway, right?
Did I say that?
I think you did say that. Why did you say that?
It seems to be like, perhaps that could be the case. You don't think that could be the case? How else did he get that position over
Well, do you think he's a great broadcaster?
I don't listen to him. You do! I don't know that much at all. I know he read my handbook. I know he listens to what I say sometimes. Tell the
fans a story when the Pharaoh met Dave LaGreca.
Oh, boy, you really are going for it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, once upon a time, you and I went to go see Gary Michael Capetta.
Right.
And that was over in, where was that? That was somewhere over by the World's Fair area by City Field in Queens.
That's correct.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And we were minding our own business, and somebody came over to me.
Yep.
And introduced himself and said, "Who are you?" And this was when wait a minute, Monty the Pharaoh was like a week old. We were just getting started.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who are you?" And I says, "I'm the Pharaoh, and that's Monty, and we're Monty and the Pharaoh." And he was cool, from what I remember.
Very nice guy.
He was cool,
Very
from
nice
what
guy.
I remember. And that was it. Never really saw him again. Do you even speak to the guy, or are you on Facebook with him or anything?
No, he's asked me to call in twice. I called in, and then I asked him.
Oh, wait a minute. That was great when you did.
And then I asked him to call back.
I was awake for that segment.
There you go. So you do listen.
Well, I knew you were on.
So then I asked him to call back here.
Right. Yeah, what are you going to do?
But that's not the reason I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing it up if you're going to be a true journalist.
Right.
Ask a hard question, dude. If Tony Khan is that weak and soft that he can't handle a question like that, then don't have him on your show.
How about when Bubba's there, though? Bubba doesn't strike me as a guy who won't ask a hard question.
Bubba is another guy, dude. I mean, with all due respect, I understand he's a Hall of Famer.
I love the Dudley Boys.
I understand he's a Hall of Famer.
Don't kill my thoughts
but
on
he
Bubba.
plays Booker every time he's on that show. They should have did this. They should have did this.
He might be right half the time, especially if he's talking about
I remember when he was on Impact.
Right.
Not Impact, on TNA.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah. I liked him as world champion.
Dude, he was booking over there. The storyline sucked.
I did like him as world champion.
The storyline sucked. So how are you going to tell WWE writers
what to do?
You didn't like the
Hogan wedding?
Terrible!
Come on!
The only thing I think I said I like Aces and Eights. I think that's about it.
I thought that was
and maybe
great
the main
stuff.
event Mafia.
I enjoyed
But
that.
I guess, you know what? A wise man once told me, you throw a ball down a bowling alley 50 times, you might hit a pin once in a while. I mean, shit, I would hit a pin. And I'm not trying to be a booker.
Bowling, Ray Charles? What's going on here? You might hit a pin after the 50th attempt?
So I don't have respect for guys when you have people on, you throw softball questions, and I got to be honest with you, it's like, all I hear, listen, I'm at work. I throw on Busted. I have Sirius Radio on. So it's like I got 80s on 8, I've got the YouTube channel, and Busted Open comes on. I got this whole running rotation.
Right.
Okay? And I got to, again, it's like if you're going to interview people, do a legitimate interview.
Right.
Ask some, real good stuff that people are interested in.
Like, is Rob Gibson's wiener bigger than Lanny's?
That
was one of the greatest
things. I think that's a great question.
That was one of the greatest things I've
People
ever
want to
seen.
know.
That was hilarious.
People want to know.
Oh, my God. And then we got a joke out of Ricky from the whole thing. That was fantastic.
That's it. And, like you said, Ricky hasn't talked...
No, Robert talked quite a bit for Robert, from what I've heard from other comments on YouTube. Wow, Robert spoke.
Maria Davis in the house. Maria, always good to see you. Got to get your review on 350 Big Days in a few minutes here, pal.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Anyway, I'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song for Monty and the Pharaoh, our own Jimmy Farrow, along with his partner Bart Griggs, the Super Jet Fans. They make up the band Wisteria Hall. They have songs such as In My Dreams, This Life, which I love immensely. People, please check out that song. I will promise you that is... It's a great song. It's a moving... great song.
When you're a jet, you're a jet, you're a...
Not far behind, Here Comes the Rain, and obviously our theme song, Riding High. Find Wisteria Hall's music on Spotify, iTunes, and Reverb Nation. And also, please go to the Wisteria Hall YouTube page, hit the thumbs up and a subscribe, and give them some love. You are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestling show, Monty and the Pharaoh, only seen out of here of Indie Music TV. Catch us on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page. Monty and the Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, the Monty and the Pharaoh page. In New York, Channel 115 every Tuesday from 7 to 7:30, and for early risers on Saturday at 6 a.m. to 6:30, and for late risers, Channel 20 from 1 a.m. to 1:30. That's a few hours from now. We'll be right back after this commercial break, and I got a little bit of bone to pick with the star of the show, Mr. Jimmy Farrow, right after this.
That should be fun. See you in a sec.
Tag America, representing the very best of American ingenuity, craftwork, and creative arts. Handcrafted wood flags, yard signs, 9-line apparel, artisan candles, and outdoor garden accessories. Custom commissioned murals, portraits, and signs by artist owners and residents. Grand opening May 23rd. Wrestling superstar and former world champion and Mr. USA Tony Atlas will be there from 12 to 4 for limited edition print signing. Free line dancing classes 1 to 4. Rain date for line dancing June 6th. Raffle prizes where 100% of proceeds will go to Tunnel to Towers Foundation and 10% of net proceeds of in-store sales as well. Military, police, firefighters, healthcare workers, we want your signatures on our wall of honor. Easy to find, fun to browse. 14 East Broadway, Port Jeff, opposite the ferry, in the Lighthouse Landing Shops, 2 doors from Echolyn Jewelers. Come visit us at 14 East Broadway, Port Jeff, or call 631-741-2344. Because made in America matters.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV in Long Island, New York. That's probably better.
Okay.
So, bro, real quick before we get to the next subject, right behind you, you just saw a commercial for Tag. They had their grand opening, and on May 23rd, they're going to have Mr. USA Tony Atlas in studio. If I could get up real quick, I'm just going to pull this.
There he goes. Here he comes.
This painting...
And the winner is.
Can you talk about this painting is being auctioned off? You can go to the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page or the Monty and the Pharaoh website page, and you can buy a raffle. I believe it's $10 to have this opportunity to get this signed autograph. It's not signed yet. It will be signed May 23rd. This original painting, one of a kind, $3,500 value. $3,500, one of a kind, beautiful for anyone's home, and it's going to a great cause. So, go to Monty Pharaoh page, or you can reach out to Tag America themselves, and you could buy a raffle ticket.
And in case you're historically curious, that is Hogan versus Tony Atlas, I do believe, at the Shea Stadium card back on August 9th, 1980. What a moment that was. I think there was actually a photo of that in PWI that covered the show. And, of course, the main event was Bruno versus Bisco in a steel cage. Classic stuff, Mike.
Look at you. That's why you just started a show, bro.
Yep, classic stuff.
Anyway, so don't punch me in the face, but I got a little bone to pick.
We know what happens
when coming out of punches. Responsible journalism.
Yep.
We're sitting here across from Hall of Famers Rock and Roll Express. Get it? we get in a conversation about Orange Cassidy.
Yep.
Watch the episode.
Yeah.
Gotta tell you.
Oh, here we
a
go.
little surprised about your appreciation for Orange Cassidy.
Regarding what?
I just felt,
Regarding
I
what?
don't want to speak for you, but I kind of felt like you weren't a fan of his, and I felt like since I don't want to say because they were saying it.
I don't have to be a fan of someone to understand what makes their thing work.
Go ahead.
And by the way, as I talk to you later in the parking lot after the Rock and Roll Express left, don't forget that Ricky and Robert have worked a little bit with AEW and worked with Orange. So I wasn't expecting, quite honestly, Ricky to tear into Orange's gimmick anyway.
Okay.
And I think we both kind of expected that. Ricky was wise,
but doesn't mean we can, as journalists, tear into it.
Well, we have.
Right.
Again, this all goes back. They're our guests. They're in our home. This is their opinion. I'm going to respect it. I'm not going to go and jump all over it. We both have made it clear how we feel about Orange Cassidy, but the things that Ricky was saying, I agree with. When it comes to Orange Cassidy, he's very athletic. It is amazing that he could do those things he does when his hands are in his pockets. It is. We both agree, though, that the gimmick doesn't have staying power. It's not something he's going to be able to do when he's 45 years old. He's not going to have his hands in his pockets doing that stuff. It's not going to happen. We both feel he's undersized. Ricky didn't deny that, so there's no debate there. I mean, I was just respecting their opinion on it. I am not a fan of Orange Cassidy, and if I could say this, I watched the entire AEW this week, as I usually try to do, but I was really angry because Penta is one of my favorite wrestlers, and I don't even know if you realize this because
I did not know that
Pentagon Jr. is one of my favorite freaking wrestlers. I love Pentagon Jr., and I did going back to the days when I watched him in AAA, because I watch Mexico wrestling. Yes, I do. I still do. I am one of them. I love the guy, and he got pinned by Orange Cassidy this week, and I was losing my shit. So, there you go. That's my take, Look, if we have a respected legend on the show, and they have an opinion on a guy they've worked with, go for it. I'm not going to, we've already made our stance on
Well,
Orange
before
Cassidy,
I get into that, I want to rebut to what you have to say.
Yeah.
But real quick, Maria Davis, 350 Days.
Yeah.
That she wrote, that DVD sucked. No, actually, she wrote...
Wait a minute. I thought you got it for free, Maria. I thought she was going to get it.
No, I want to read what she actually wrote. I'm just kidding.
What?
I watched it. Oh, my God. The drugs and alcohol and their lifestyles of wrestling, and the wrestlers are unbelievable. It's a huge sacrifice on their family, marriages, boyfriends, and girlfriends.
Of course.
This is true.
Of course.
But it also is a snore fest, too. But that's a whole other thing. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's hard to stay awake.
The music didn't keep you pumped?
The music is the worst. So let's talk back to Orange Cassidy, my friend.
Yeah, go ahead.
So last night he's wrestling Penta.
I know! Pissed me off.
He gets put in some sort of armbar.
Yes, he does.
And how he breaks it is puts his hands in his pockets, and Penta can't hold them. And then we got two Hall of Fame announcers, Jim Ross and Shivani, saying,
right.
Wow, the pocket. What? The power of the pocket. I got to think that Jim Ross is throwing up in his mouth right now.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. But Jim Ross is doing his job. And let me tell you, if we were in the announcing booth and we were told to do it, we probably would too.
All right, shut up.
Hey,
You're
man,
right.
oh, yeah, I got you. I got you.
I'm not going to lie.
With the mic is cooking.
You're right. I'm not going to lie.
But it is what it is. Hey, what's this? Darby Allin is doing,
real quick, I just want to say
good work.
One great spot last night between Orange and Penta.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Penta catches him and holds him up with one arm. And again, super, Circus Olay shit.
Absolutely.
But a totally different move. Mm-hmm. And
how do you do it?
Well, again, Orange Cassidy probably weighs 130 pounds. I mean, and he's an acrobat, and he probably can balance himself.
I swear, though, doesn't Orange Cassidy look like the guy who gives you your towel when you get out of the pool?
Yes,
You get out of the pool, and there he is. He gives you a towel. Or he's got the white powder on his nose because he's either doing coke or he's a lifeguard, or he's both.
Russell Campbell says, "Oh my God, the pocket release is killing me." Absolutely, I'm like, come on.
What about you have to admit, though.
Go ahead.
He's funny. I laugh when I see him. Like when he does he's going to, at the beginning of the match, when he's going to put his hands in the pocket, Ed Penta wouldn't let him like 3 times. He wouldn't let him put his hands. And he's, what a diss. Orange is getting mad. What do you want? It's
Ralph
funny.
Boone says AEW and NHL will get the same equal ratings. That I believe.
I believe that.
NHL's not a big sport.
But if they
not that it's not a big sport.
But if they think that AEW is more valuable to TNT than the NHL, you better slow down. You know?
Yeah.
You better slow down. You're talking about a league that's been around for over 100 years. And there's a reason.
Our main man Russell says 3 super kicks and a Canadian destroyer, and he pops right up. That's right. And that's the issue we have with Orange. I have with Orange Cassidy. You can. Here's another thing.
Dude,
I was thinking.
I can't take.
There were some good spots
seriously,
in that
but he beat
match,
Penta.
right? Why wouldn't you save some of that stuff for a pay-per-view? Is TNT their pay-per-view?
I actually thought that was a pretty good match to put on television because Orange has his fans, and I love Penta. So I was interested.
I'm going to drop some Monty knowledge on people right now.
Go ahead.
So Khan was on Ladicka's show, right?
Here we go.
And he said the difference between us is we listen to what the fans want, and we give them what they want.
Really?
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's why Miro...
Well, here's my knowledge I want to drop.
I've been there for how long already? I haven't done a damn thing with them.
Sometimes people don't know what they want, and that's why hire professionals.
No, that's true, too.
And you give what you think's going to work.
Depends on who you're hiring. I don't want a Hollywood writer, I have to admit. I want a Kevin Sullivan I want someone like that.
I don't like this. I'm booing this. Let me tell you something. Roman Reigns was booed for 3 straight years.
Know.
And now he's incredible.
Right.
Very simple.
He's great.
Really easy.
But I got to be honest, even when he was being booed, I still respected him. So did you. We weren't trashing him.
No, but I'm just saying in general.
And I could say this for me. I love Randy Orton. Randy Orton is great. And he's been even greater during times of ratings distress across the board for wrestling.
Right.
Randy Orton's been fantastic.
Our main man, another main man out there, modern day warrior, Orange Cassidy's a fool, worst wrestler ever, worse than a jobber. Hell yeah.
Johnny Rods?
Oh, wait a minute. Here's a good one.
Way better than Orange Cassidy.
Ralph Boone writes, who's worse, LaGreca or Francesa? Thank God Francesa's off the air.
Wow.
Farrell, what do you got to say about that one?
Wow, very interesting.
First of all, I'm going to say, Ralph, don't ever compare LaGreca to Francesa.
To Mike Francesa.
Because LaGreca...
Absolutely. That's a whole different...
Listen, I understand if you hate Francesa.
Yeah, you can hate him, but you can't deny. Mike Francesa and Christopher Mad Dog Russo together for decades were the number one.
What do you mean? They're not better than Ladicka and Snorefest, Tommy Dreamer?
Oh, my God. Mike
Tommy, you awake? Huh?
Mike and the Mad Dog, a huge influence on me. What are you talking about? I loved that show, and I loved their chemistry. Absolutely loved Mike and the Mad Dog. They were legends. And
all right, you know who's winning me over?
Yeah, what do you got?
Darby Allin.
Cool, man. I'm okay with that.
Thoughts on the Darby man?
I kind of like I'm kind of liking Darby Allin. There's something.
Thank you, Farrell. I like when you agree.
He doesn't seem to overstay his welcome. I kind of like that he doesn't have much to say.
Yeah.
And he's an ass kicker. It's kind of cool. He's a tough bastard. It really is.
Only problem is
a tough bastard.
If you weigh 120 pounds,
I know there's always
you got to stay down. But you get hit, stay down.
Can't we find a legal protein shake to give him another 20 pounds?
Bro, how about just when you get hit, lay down? You just stop popping up, like Russell said. Stay down. It's okay to get beat up.
By the way, did Sting get hair things? Because he's not. There's no spot up there anymore.
Oh, whatever.
You know, you're not gonna tell because he was down.
We're gonna push our young guys, but we're gonna keep bringing Sting back.
It's Sting.
I'm sorry. Again, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna get into it after the commercial break. But it's like I can't name one person, one wrestler. Yeah. That if there were house shows or there were shows, I would go run to.
That would you go run to? Very interesting.
Matthew Mancuso, I'm sorry, sir, if I'm mispronouncing your name. I am not sold on the gimmick. I think Cassidy has talent, but the gimmick isn't doing him any favors. He's Harvey Whippleman with athletic ability.
Oh, my God.
Bang!
That's rough.
Exactly.
Harvey Whippleman? That's pretty funny.
Because he's a bum.
That's rough, but hey, I can see that. That's fine.
All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite 4-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offtherailscoffeeroasters.com.
Elm Logistics for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships.
Yo, we're back, man. I just wanted to say what's up. We're back. Monty and the Pharaoh, #1. What's up, Mike? What
That's
do you got?
That's a good intro. Welcome back.
Thanks, bro. I just had a brownie. I feel very high.
All right, so I was
Hi.
Again, I don't know where I find this time, but I was thinking about, well, a couple of years ago, a year ago, whatever, everybody was all over the WWE and Brock Lesnar and, he never defends a title. So I decided to look up Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
So I believe tomorrow will mark 5 months, or within like a little over 5 months, of the incredible reign of Mr. Kenneth Omega, who will definitely win PWI's best wrestler, the man who collects titles.
You're talking about the AEW champion, the AAA champion of Mexico, and the Impact World champion.
That's right.
Okay, so what do you got for this amazing title reign?
So I said, hey, you know what? Everybody hated the fact that Lesnar never defended the title.
I kind of found
right?
I kind of liked it myself, but I have my reasons.
I want to really quickly go through this. I want you to weigh in. But
a champion should be special.
This is what Kenny Omega has done.
What do you got?
So he defeated Jon Moxley for the title. We all know that, right?
That's Dean Ambrose. You're not going to fool me. Next.
All right, next. Then he defeats the Laredo Kid for the AAA Mega Championship.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. There's 2. Mm-hmm. He defends the AEW title against Rey Fenix. I'm not going to give dates because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but so you basically got 3 title matches. Okay, not bad. Good start.
Okay.
But then he's in a 6-person match, and this is literally, a week later against, he's with Gallows and Anderson,
right? I got
Pillman,
you.
blah blah blah.
I got you.
Then the next week he's up against another 6-man tag against Chris Sabin, Moose, and Rich Swann.
I'm getting bored. Go on.
But hold on.
Yeah.
Then the next week, he's in another 6-man tag.
Wow, what a champion. Go on.
Okay.
Wow. Defending that title every week. You
can't
do that in a 6-man match. Go on.
But now he's in a tag team match. And it's him and Kenta against Moxley and Lance Archer.
Interesting match.
Wait a minute. Hold on. But then he wrestles Jon Moxley in that debacle of that barbed wire match, and he defeats him. So, okay, another defense finally.
Exploding barbed wire.
Another defense finally. So if I just look, Pharaoh, he doesn't really defend the title for almost 2 months, close, or so, right.
What's the problem?
A couple weeks later, he defends against Matt Sydal.
Matt Sydal,
the great Matt Sydal.
Matt Sydal,
right?
Wow. You know what was going to happen there? I was sure Sydal was going to win that belt.
There you go.
There's nothing to that match. Come on.
But hold on. He's going to come back, though. He's going to defend that title again. Another 6-man tag. Another 6-man tag. Another 6-man tag.
Really?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now into April. Now he's in another 8-man tag.
8-man tag. Well, the 6-mans were burning him out.
Then he's in a 10-man tag.
10-man! The 8-man burnt him out!
Then he's in a 6-man tag.
It's working less and less.
And how do we reward this great champion, the great Kenny Omega?
Right.
We let him win the Impact title, and he defeats Rich Swann. There you go.
So here's the deal. Basically what you're telling me, and this is what I take from this, that back of the baseball card we always talk about? Mm-hmm. When people were complaining that Brock Lesnar never defends his title? In other words, Brock Lesnar, you wouldn't see him on television. Sound familiar? Because that's the old days. You wouldn't see him on television, and then he would have his pay-per-view match against, guys like Samoa Joe and Goldberg and a whole bunch of other freaking monsters and AJ Styles. You remember that match?
Calm down.
And in 5 months, Kenny Omega's wrestled Dean Ambrose twice. In 5 months.
There you go.
But that's okay, because he's from AEW, and he works for Tony Khan, and he's not Vince McMahon, so it must be okay.
But hold
what
on.
a bunch of hypocrites.
But tomorrow, Dave...
Are you trying to get me insane on
tomorrow
purpose?
Dave Ladicker will go, Kenny Omega is such a great champion. I like the way they're putting all the titles on him. And then Tommy Dreamer will go, what?
He's
what'd
a
you say,
great
Dave?
wrestler, but this is ridiculous, dude. This is ridiculous.
Come on.
I'm a fan of Kenny
Russell
Omega,
Campbell
but I can't be a
says,
fan
Omega,
of this schedule.
another joke. Modern day warrior. Imagine what Andre would do and say to Orange Cassidy or Haku. No, Andre would have a problem. He'd go for one of those headbutts, but Orange Cassidy put his hands in his pockets, and Andre wouldn't know what to do. He would go, "Oh my God, I'm scared." Come on, man. I am sorry. Agenda. Yeah. Oh, the WWE doesn't pay me any mind, so I will just keep saying how great AEW. Who's that reporter?
It's a joke.
Who's that reporter? That guy you hate?
Meltzer.
I
can't stand
another guy
Meltzer.
with an agenda.
Dude, he gave Excalibur Announcer of the Year. Are you folks at home aware of that? The Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer gave Excalibur the Announcer of the Year. We've got Corey Graves out there. You could give it to JR. You could give it to Tony Schiavone. You're giving it to Excalibur? No, I know he would never give it to Michael Cole, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, of course, because Michael Cole's the worst.
After all,
he's the worst.
He's the template of play-by-play announcing for the last 2 decades. But, you know, I know that's not a popular opinion. That's just a fact.
Again, fans, I'm sorry.
I'm not a big Michael Cole guy either. I get it.
That Ramal Ronaldo guy.
Leave Mauro.
Fucking hate that guy.
I love Mauro.
I hate him.
I love Mauro. I love Mauro Ronaldo.
The guy runs
Mike Monty is massacring my rep.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Jimmy Farrell was announcing play-by-play and they brought that guy in, you'd walk off the table. Because that guy would just scream over you until you shut up.
We're both bipolar. We probably both have a meltdown.
Dude, the guy doesn't know how to give and take.
I got you. I got you. I personally like Mauro. I got you. I got it. That's fine.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Monty and the Pharaoh say because AEW is on this lightning storm. They are taking over wrestling. They're ready to challenge Raw.
That's not what the numbers say.
Well, that's what I was about to say. The numbers came out. Why don't you tell the fans what went out?
Well, according to what you told me off air, because it's blank here, I can't tell them. But I think you said it was around 800 and change.
889,000.
That's less than a mil.
They're on their own on Wednesday night, and NXT's been doing a crappy job, right? Because they don't know what to do.
NXT's fine.
So first it's Vince's fault, but now NXT is Triple H's baby. But they just don't know what they're doing. But AEW. Hey, Tony Khan said, and late Dave Dicker said, yeah, you really know how to make the fans love it. Oh, you know what you do. And Bubba Ray goes, they're just pushing every button right there, Dave.
No, they're not. They're not pushing every button right. And you know what gets lost in all of this? Before there was this imaginary Wednesday night war, which is an insult to the real wars that happened years ago. Before there was... and they weren't on head-to-head and all of this stuff. Do you remember how the fans would kill Raw and SmackDown, but they loved their darling NXT? Because that was the most, independent wrestling, and they all loved it. And they would all say, and the reason why they were allowed to love it is because Vince didn't have his hands on it, Triple H did, and they loved it. But it's funny how when AEW went head-to-head with NXT, now NXT stinks, and they can't do anything right. And AEW, you guys are the most hypocritical... two sides of the coin. I mean,
everyone has an agenda.
It's hilarious.
Modern Day Warrior SCW is way better than AEW. Yes, sir. And next week we have SCW, Mr. James Beard.
SWE Fury?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He'll be in.
Nice.
Russell Campbell says, I love that you guys know what wrestling should be. Sir, I can't say I know what every wrestling should be, but I do know when people just pull their bullshit. And you know what? That's what I don't like. I just don't like people that bullshit all the time.
Right.
Again, everybody knows, Ladicka, that you've got Tony Khan on your show, and you try to get Triple H on, and Triple H goes, who? What? You? Or Bully Ray's
he goes,
AEW's doing everything right. You know what they're not doing right? They're not selling their network or renting their network to the Peacock Network for $1 billion.
No, they're not doing that.
They're not publicly traded either.
Right.
But you know what? Right. Keep pushing Orange Cassidy. Right. Keep pushing.
Right. Oh, and they bullied Ivelisse right out the door.
And bullied Ivelisse.
Not that anyone cares.
By the
way, do you hear that shovel? That's all the Indian AEW blind supporters burying Ivelisse. What story? I don't know
anything about it.
Of course, if Vince McMahon gave her the flu, now she's got to use Kleenex. You guys, man. You think we're not on to you? Give me a break.
Gotta use Kleenex.
I can't anymore. It's ridiculous.
All right, but we want to talk about real wrestling.
Jeez.
A&E is doing documentaries. We spoke about it last week, the Stone Cold Steve Austin documentary.
Right up your alley. Yeah.
I fell asleep on Sunday, the Roddy Piper.
Not up your alley.
By the way, Modern Day Warrior, Wrath of Khan. Yes, sir. Definitely
what?
Wrath of Khan. Wrath of Khan.
What about Wrath of Khan?
That's you. Khan.
Oh, I love Wrath of Khan. You put that little thing in the ear?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that was great.
Maybe Tony Khan's got a worm in his ear.
You know?
But anyway, Roddy Piper documentary's on. So, we're talking about the ratings. So I just want to parlay into this, right? Yeah. So, look, I don't know if anyone feels the way I do. This is the way I feel. Wrestling nowadays is not must-watch TV. It's not like back in when I was younger or back during the Attitude Era where you didn't know what was going to happen. You had to watch it.
TV's changed, though, too,
right.
where you could just watch it whenever you want.
That's right.
But I do agree with you. There's nothing that's going, I must see this live right now.
That's right. But you know what I must see? The Roddy Piper documentary. Like, that was very important.
Right.
So, again, NXT's not doing well. You know why? Because I'm not saying they're not doing well. I don't know what USA Network thinks is good or not good.
Right.
Okay? But here's the deal. The Young Rock is on, right? There's a whole bunch of shows on. And you could catch AEW later on. And the Must Rock might be more must-see TV.
Right.
And don't forget, Monty and the Pharaoh on Channel 115 at 7 to 7:30. That takes up a lot of people's time, too.
Well, hey,
that's must-watch TV.
I mean, the diners are empty out here in Hop Hog during
straight.
that time. What are you talking about?
Russell Campbell says that Stone Cold bio was excellent. So I thought the Stone Cold, if I compare bios with the Roddy Piper, the Stone Cold one was better. But to be fair, Roddy Piper is not alive anymore, so there's a little difference there.
Sure.
But I got to tell you, dude, and I wrote this on my personal Facebook page, I shed tears for Roddy Piper when I watched it on Tuesday. I'm sorry I fell asleep on Sunday. I couldn't stay awake. I had to go to work early.
Okay.
But I had to watch it. So I was thinking about it. Gotta watch this. I shed tears for Roddy Piper. I shed tears for his family. I shed tears for the wrestling audience.
Okay.
That guy wasn't just a wrestler. He was a pop icon.
Yes, he was.
What are your thoughts on Roddy, Farrell?
Wow, you hit me with that one. Roddy Piper, to me, in my opinion, is the greatest villain that ever existed in professional wrestling. No one got people crazier than Roddy. I don't think that there was a bad guy that could ever talk as great as him. He was the greatest on the microphone. He played so big in the ring, as you know. Roddy Piper could get in the ring with Andre the Giant and somehow not be small. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes all the sense in the world.
You know, no one was more quick-witted than Roddy Piper. You could tell that his brain went 1,000 miles an hour, and what's more impressive, his sentences matched his thought process at the speed of light. Roddy Piper is one of the 5 greatest, probably most important people that ever stepped in a ring. I have nothing but massive respect for Roddy Piper.
Interesting question, Modern Day Warriors asking you, Pharaoh. Do either of you believe in ghosts? Roddy Piper saw Adrian Adonis's ghost in his house years ago. His kids did too.
Yeah, I actually do. I've had some strange experiences, so I know that there's something, if that makes any sense. Absolutely.
Russell teared up too. If I could tell the fans just a quick story that's very important to me. I used to go to the Garden pretty much every month. Growing up, I was a huge wrestling fan, as you know, and I was a huge...
You were at the big one, though, on MTV.
Yes. So, Joe, and I'm going to say his name, Silverstein, who we grew up in high school.
Of course, yes.
Joe since has passed at a very young age, which is a very sad day for us. But one of my fondest memories, and I wish you were there with me, too, by the way, how important that was.
God only knows if it was the 80s what I was up to.
We went to the War to Settle the Score in Madison Square Garden. I had been to a couple of WrestleManias, lots of pay-per-views, Madison Square Garden, sitting front row. You could actually see me, and I'm not trying to put myself over.
It's true.
It's just saying.
True. It's true. It's hilarious, too.
That place, when Hogan and Piper finally clash,
that place
was the most, to me, was the greatest wrestling match I've ever seen.
The Garden was on fire. And it transmitted that way on television, too. On fire.
I still, like, if I watch older matches now, sometimes I tell you all the time, like, I don't want to watch them, right? When I still watch that match, I get goosebumps.
Well, think about the perfect storm. You have, in my opinion, the greatest face, the most popular face, the most revolutionary face, the most important face in the business's history in Hulk Hogan, and you've got the greatest villain. You've got Batman and the Joker in the ring.
And not forget,
you've got Batman and the Joker in the ring.
And Hogan, my favorite.
How could it fail?
Hogan, my favorite. Piper, my second favorite.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Right?
That we loved him so much even though he was the bad guy. And we didn't hold it against him. You know what I mean?
It's weird. I'm sure everybody's seen it.
Usually
watch
you pick a side.
The war to settle the score.
Yeah.
But just to continue on the story, another reason it's important is because Joe was there, and Joe was an important part of our lives, and I miss him. And when we have some of these old NWA guys, because Joe was an NWA guy, I just keep thinking to myself how much Joe would have loved to see these guys. And I'm
going to give you props here. Do you have any idea how much Joe would have loved this show?
Oh, my God.
Joe would have loved this show.
He would have loved this
Sorry,
show.
folks, we have to indulge a little bit. This was a good person that we grew up with.
So if I could move on forward just a little bit, not to bore everybody, but I promoted Roddy Piper at an event. And
oddly enough, I wasn't around during those days. Go on.
My father, who really just doesn't like wrestling, never did.
Really? Not at all?
Not at all.
Well, he's been supportive of your love for it, that's for sure.
Well, I can tell you, when I was in high school and I used to play football and wrestle, right? If he caught me watching pro wrestling, he used to scream at me.
Oh, my God.
And I remember one time, Backlund was wrestling Adonis, and I couldn't get to the garden, and I was really upset. He was pissed off at me, and he's like, go to your fucking room, right?
What were you doing?
And then I had to go to my room. I missed the match, but I sneaked down, and there's my father watching Adonis versus Backlund. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
It's a good match.
But anyway, I'm digressing.
I thought I told you to go to bed.
I'm digressing. So Piper, I'm promoting Piper. Piper was so important, my father had to come down and get a picture with Piper. And there's a picture of me
it's a great picture,
with Colt Toombs, Piper's son, Piper, and my father, which is very, very important to me.
The headlock picture.
As my father gets older, as how much Roddy Piper meant to me.
Right.
And there's one point where Roddy puts my father in a headlock.
Yeah.
That picture to me brings me such great memories. Guys, I got to tell you. This is why we love doing the show. Because we love, there's a picture of my father right there. I know it's a little blurry, guys, because I suck as a photographer.
Awesome.
But that picture means the world to me.
It should. Absolutely.
These two guys mean the world to me. But I will tell you, this is why I loved wrestling. Because these guys knew how to entertain.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And that's why I'm vehemently angry at wrestlers like Orange Cassidy. Because it's great to make money. It's great to be a good athlete. But when you embarrass the sport that gave me goosebumps,
something like you're
when
describing.
I turn it on, I must tell you, I get angry.
Yeah. And as you're saying that, I'm picturing Snuka flying off the top of the cage and Backlund rolling out of the way. And you're right. When you put it that way, a lot of today's wrestling is embarrassing compared to my God, compared to that pinnacle.
And bro, I respect your knowledge, because you never have an agenda. You really never do.
No, I try my best not to. I really don't.
And
if
I respect
like it,
your
I like
knowledge
it.
of the sport.
Hell, I love Nakamura and was watching New Japan way before the rest of these people jumped on the bandwagon. And trust me, it was way before.
And when you mean these people, we're talking about the pro wrestling experts out there, not the people watching this show, not people watching other shows. We're talking about the experts.
They're watching this show, and you know what they're doing? They're warming up their fingers. Here we go.
So the WWE put out a tweet after reviewing nearly 1,000 records. Our data shows that Monday, WWE Raw, Braun Strowman became the first superstar in history to compete in a televised singles, tag team, and handicap match on the same night. Thoughts?
I wanted to ask you something regarding Braun Strowman and the heavyweight title picture and everything else. Is it just me? Or is Monday Night Raw every week lately the same exact show as it was the week before? It seems to be doing the same exact things. The no finishes, the DQs, the nonsense.
I feel like it's Monday Nitro.
This is what's really bugged. And, okay, thank you for saying that. Isn't this supposed to be the time of year? You know how, after WrestleMania, it was very exciting because they'd blast into the new season with the new program and stuff. Are we really about to get Lashley versus McIntyre versus Strowman? This is where we're going with this. Monday Night Raw is hurting right now, man. And I will say it. I mean, Monday Night Raw is awful right now. I'm not into it. Randy is trying to save it. Whatever Randy. By the way, Team RK Bro, Yo, bro.
It's a good deal.
That is fantastic.
Glad you said that.
Please work with that. And don't end it next week. Don't have Randy attack him next week. Build that. And even let them win the belts. Let them win the tag belts. You know, build that. Get towards SummerSlam.
I think they will.
Give us a story. Because those two guys together, Randy is so, like one way, and Riddle's so over the top. They're great together. Can't you see it?
Off subject, Modern Day Warriors asking, can you guys interview Don Morocco? He's doing lots of interviews lately at the moment.
Go ahead, Mike, you answer that. No, you answer that one.
So, Modern, I got to tell you, growing up, Don Morocco was my favorite wrestler.
That's why you're answering that one.
So, Don Morocco, myself, the Pharaoh, were discussing him coming on the show. It was a set, blah, blah, blah. And there seemed to be another... I'm going to call them podcaster. They're podcasters. We're broadcasters. The reason why we say we're broadcasters is because we're on television.
Right.
This is a television show.
That's right.
Which happens to be streaming on YouTube.
Of course.
That's why we try not to call ourselves podcasters.
Right.
There was another podcaster who got involved, and he started causing problems between Morocco and myself.
Okay.
Again, I always... Look, everybody knows how much I love Morocco.
Oh, yeah.
But Morocco pulled out of the interview. Why? Don't know. But he pulled out literally the day before the interview. Okay? I didn't promote it because it was up in the air, and then it was decided he was going to do it. And I would have tell you guys, as much as I love Morocco, as much as you love Morocco, you guys would have loved that interview.
Yep.
You would have loved it.
Yep.
Mr. Morocco decided to pull out. Now he's doing interviews with other people because he's friends with so-called other podcaster who's not a fan of ours. Fine. Get it?
Okay.
So, Modern Day Warriors, as much as I'd love to have Don Morocco on, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Right. And we don't chase anybody, so fuck off. No?
Yeah, fair enough.
There you go.
Can't disagree.
You know? But thanks for asking the question. It's the fellow who wrote in, and I would love to be able
Modern Day Warrior.
Yeah, I would love to. Modern Day Warrior, I'd love to have Don Morocco. I want to get Modern Day Warrior. I want to get Morocco in for you.
Thank you. You've said that for a long time.
I've been saying this forever because Valentine was my guy, and we got Valentine way back, and I was so thrilled because Valentine's my favorite.
So if anyone doesn't know out there, it's very cutthroat out there.
Absolutely.
I think we're respectful to every podcaster or broadcaster out there.
Right.
You might think I'm not respectful of Dave Ladica, but I have to be honest with you. Dave, if he's not going to be a professional and he's going to just softball everything, I lose respect. And I'm going to start saying how I feel.
Right.
And if I had him on the show interviewing him, I would tell him that you're not doing your job. You're not giving the fans what they want. You're giving the fans to help you.
And for those folks at home, and sometimes I envy you guys that just watch as fans because, trust me, This business is so backstabbing sometimes. You don't want to know half the shit that goes on here. You might find your heroes to not be so heroic.
Well, before going to commercial, Modern Day Warrior says Morocco just did an interview with some English idiot, no name, LOL.
Oh, that's right. Cheerio. So tell us, John, how's the surfing going?
Hello, Don. I'm only 14 years old, but I'm going to tell you about the history. I'm really bad at history of wrestling.
You know what's better than Budweiser? Milk, because that's all I can drink. It's all I'm allowed to drink. I'm 14.
So, Don, let me ask you a question. Jimmy Snuka seemed to be very crazy. What were your thoughts? I said he was crazy, and I wouldn't want to be around him. I'm 14, mind you. He's been dead well before I came out of my mommy's womb. But I want to know because I'm going to tell you, Don, what it's all about.
Could you do us a favor, mate, and tell us about Morocco's armpits? What? I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't take it anymore, too. And what's with half these people out there who think that we're interviewing the Pope? You guys better show some more respect. You guys are obnoxious and annoying. You mean we're talking to them like they're people?
Well, all I want to say...
That's what we're doing.
I'm very upset with Maria Davis now because I love 350 Days, and you said it was terrible. I'm sorry, Maria. That wasn't very nice.
What happened?
Maria Davis
She did not. Did she? What? Maria, she's getting you in trouble. What is she...
All right, we take a quick commercial break, and we're going to talk about some upcoming events and send you all on your way.
And we're on our way.
M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and Farrell, seen every Thursday, produced out of Indie Music TV and Ron Konkama. So, Farrell, next Thursday, May 6th, we have SWE executive Mr. James Beard in studio. Thoughts about that, sir?
Sweet. I do believe he was also a WCW referee, too. On
WCW, WCCW.
WCCW,
yes, yeah. Dude, I'm really excited to talk to someone in New Kerry. You know how much I love the Von Erich.
I'm excited to talk to somebody who's actually doing something old school with his product.
Yeah.
I like it.
I know, you're a fan of it.
I like it.
I know.
So I am psyched.
And this isn't us brown-nosing because we're going to ask legitimate questions.
Of course
I'm
we
going to ask him, hey, our boy Andrew Anderson's not getting enough push.
Yeah, let's get him up the card there.
Damn straight.
Let's go. Have him pounding people into the pavement.
Don't treat our man Andrew like that.
That's right.
Monty DeFaro all over that crap.
Need to reinforce that opinion.
On May 8th, we've got 2 events. At 11 a.m., we have ECW legend Mr. Bill Alfonso in the studio.
What is it, Daddy? I love Fonzie.
You're a big Fonzie fan.
Dude, I'm a Rob Van Dam maniac. What do you I love Fonzie.
Dude, I might just have to sit back as you just have your way with Mr. Alfonso.
God, have my way? You're making this sound a little weird.
In a non-wrestling event, Indie Music Studios at 2 p.m. has an afternoon of love and laughter with the world-famous psychic, Miss Winter Brooke.
Okay.
Winter will be making readings along with her partner who draws the actual image that she's making readings on.
Oh, jeez.
You could go to www. My wife says stop doing that, but you could go to indiemusictv.com and you could purchase tickets. I think they're only $20. So for people that want to maybe have lost a loved one, right? We were just talking earlier, Modern Day Warrior said about ghosts in Roddy Piper's house, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if you lost a loved one, you could get a reading, and maybe they draw a picture of your loved one. That'd be fantastic.
Wow. Yeesh.
Modern Day Warrior says my YouTube name is because Modern Day Warrior is because of Kevin Von Erich, my favorite wrestler. Dude, I love the Von Erichs, man. Oh my God, I love them. And here's a good one. And there's going to be more people will be adding on, but on June 5th right now, signed for 5 p.m. This is a strange one, but we had to have them. Jules Strongbow in the studio, dude.
Catch.
What do you think about Jules Strongbow?
I think that's a gem of a catch. You're talking about the Strongbow brothers back in the day. Chief Jay and Jules.
Boy, I hated Jules.
Boy, did we. Oh, because they were going against the bad guys we liked.
Yeah.
I'm
a little excited about it, dude. I think it's going to be fun.
Dude, that's that little window that occurred, from the early '80s. He's part of that.
But just if you guys looking at the banner there, it looks like Pharaoh hasn't got the message about being PC as he's wearing a feather and he's smoking a peace pipe.
Dude, I don't care about the feather in the peace pipe. I've got a Redskins jersey on. We're having a distinguished guest, Jules Strongbow, and a certain artist, how you doing out there, Jeff, puts me in a Redskins jersey. Have you read the news lately? What the frig? I didn't ask for that. No, everybody goes, Pharaoh's a racist. Thanks a lot. Thanks, and you're laughing. This is my partner. He's laughing.
Oh, I love it. Oh, my God.
This guy's unbelievable.
I love doing this
What
show.
am I not supposed to be doing? You said before I'm not supposed to be doing something. When I said, geez, that's different. What am I not supposed to be doing?
I don't know, man.
You're not supposed to be doing something.
I've lost my track. And, before we get out of here, I want to remind everybody, please pick up Matt Memories by our man John Alexander Rezi.
That was great.
Fantastic read.
What an interesting
Unfortunately, I caught COVID. We had to cancel our interview, but he's going to be back in a couple of weeks. We're going to have him in studio. So
that works. I love that book.
And guess what? I'm going to ask him a couple of tough questions, too, like how bad is 350 days?
Ooh, I'm sure he'll tell you.
You think he'll be honest?
I think he will.
All right.
I think that's how he's lived his life. I think he'll say it exactly how he thinks.
If you didn't know it, this is Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, seen only here out of Indie Music TV. Catch us on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monty and the Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor. Catch us on New York Cable, every channel, 115 every Tuesday from 7 to 7:30, and every Saturday from 6:30 to 7 a.m. I got that timer on. I think it's 6 a.m. to 6:30. I got to get my shit straight.
All right.
Channel 20, 1:30 to 2 a.m. So again, next week, we have Mr. James Beard. We're going to talk Kerry Von Erich. We're going to talk Von Erichs. We're going to talk Freebirds. Jimmy Jam Garvin. Bruiser Brody.
Texas Wrestling.
And Texas Wrestling. And we're going to get down to the bottom why Andrew Anderson isn't their champion.
That's right.
And the Blood Hunter is.
Blood Hunter.
I hate the Blood Hunter.
Parting
news there, Pharaoh? Parting words?
Nothing much other than thanks once again for letting us come into your living rooms. We enjoyed it.
Wait a minute. This can't be right. We can't cut off right now.
What happened?
The Jets just traded back up to the 15th pick, so they went from 23 to 15.
To 15.
Well, you're really getting excited.
Well, you tell you what, that's a good move,
Joe. Thank you for the update.
I wonder who he's going to take. Wow, we got to run out to the car. I got to hit the radio.
Modern Day Warrior says Kerry Von Erich was only missing 1 foot.
Wait a minute, him and Marty together make 2 feet?
1 foot? No, I think Marty got his shit repaired. All right, parting words.
They put the foot back on Marty?
Yep.
Really? Very interesting. Well, folks, until next week, when we bring in SWE Fury's James Beard, owner and promoter, you've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh. Later.